Hey everyone, it's Neil Sika and the Commissioner Trey McNeil. FBU National Championship Weekend 2 is in the books. And we've got 6 teams who are on their way to San Antonio. Going to show you the updated brackets now, so thanks for staying up late with us. Early morning on the East Coast. I know it's past your bedtime for many of you. And of course, if you're up late on the West, well, this is for you too, because we're going to show the West first and second rounds as we head to Reno next weekend for the final regional spots, 7th and 8th grade. Who will go to San Antonio? The Commissioner, Trey McNeil, is back. How you doing?
Doing great. Great weekend of football once again.
It is. And, 7th grade, we're excited to have you here. And in one word, what do we say? Wow.
My favorite word, obviously.
That's right. Can you give me a wow?
Wow.
Yes.
What a great game that was.
We had many of them here today. Let's start in the 7th grade. We're going to go to Mansfield, Ohio. Okay. Massachusetts, New Jersey, Chicago, Maryland, Trey. We kind of weren't too surprised with this matchup, Mass and Maryland. I think as we go along, we're going to note that you had some high-caliber teams, but the results were really kind of shocking. Maryland runs away with this to go to San Antonio in the 7th grade. They're playing some pretty good football.
Maryland's got a stout team, Neil. They rolled right through this game, just like you said. Expected maybe a little more from Mass. Mass has shown quite a bit. They're 7th grade, beating New Jersey this weekend, which I was surprised at, and I thought, wow, Mass maybe have a chance, but Maryland's loaded. They're ready to roll, and a big matchup coming up with South Florida.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. DeJuan Ellis, the quarterback, pretty darn good for Maryland. So that wraps up Mansfield in the 7th grade. You mentioned South Florida. If Maryland was impressive, South Florida to the nth degree. They wallop a North Georgia team who beat Nashville. South Florida beat Charlotte. This is one of the tougher regions in the country down in the southeast. And South Florida, Maryland in one national semifinal. My goodness, what a game that is on paper. But South Florida looks all the bit the part, 3 consecutive shutouts.
Yes, what a defense this team has. Like you said, I think they've scored about 105 points to 0 scored against them. So a formidable foe in San Antonio for Maryland. That's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Yeah, Southwest Florida, the only team to score on South Florida. That was in the first game, just a touchdown. So that was out of Atlanta. In Kansas City, how about Northwest Louisiana? They beat Dallas. They beat Wichita yesterday, and then Dallas beat Iowa. But Jed Curry's assembled a good 7th grade team here and on their way to San Antonio.
Shocker for me here, I have to tell you. This is a stout Northwest Louisiana team, solid line here. They're rolling, great team play. Really upset a really good Dallas team.
Okay. Well, Northwest Louisiana's going to have to wait on their opponent because that's coming out of the West next weekend. Okay, these are games in the first and second round. So we've showed you the regionals, the teams, the 3 7th grade teams that are in San Antonio. Who's going to Reno? Well, let's take a look at what happened here in 7th grade. Utah beating Arizona, Colorado, Las Vegas. It's the home team, Las Vegas, in the end. This is kind of a surprise for me that they come out. They had the home field advantage, but they end up going 8 hours north to Reno.
Yes, they do. Use the home field advantage all the way here. Great play by this Las Vegas team. I'm really excited. I'm actually making the trip to Reno next weekend. Excited to see these guys play.
The commish will be there firsthand. Las Vegas on their way to Reno in 7th grade. Kind of a stacked area in Westminster, California. It was take your pick. Ventura County, San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles. Orange County, San Diego met today. Orange County victorious there, and they will move along to Reno. There's a talented field within these 4, and it was anyone's guess, but Orange County proves triumphant.
I mean, what can you say? California football, probably about as good as anywhere in the country. Loaded out there. Any one of these teams could win this.
We'll come back to Orange County again because their 8th graders were playing for a chance to go to Reno too. Northern Los Angeles, well, if we talk about Maryland and how they took care of business in 7th grade in South Florida, this is shaping up to be a Northern LA run because they did that to Bay Area, Sacramento out of the East Bay area to move on to Reno with their victories this weekend.
Strong showing in both 7th and 8th grade here.
Okay, Northern LA who made the drive up to play all the way up in the San Francisco, Oakland area this weekend. Here in Portland, Seattle, they beat Oregon. They beat Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho, who beat Southern Oregon. And Seattle's team, some sprightly guys. They got some speed. They can run. And here they are going to Reno.
It's going to be an exciting team to watch in Reno this weekend. I promise you, that'll be a good one.
So that's out of Portland. Okay, here's the four and the matchup. Seattle, Northern LA. That's a good-looking one. So is Orange County, Las Vegas. This is the 7th grade regional semifinals. Reno, Nevada, next Saturday and Sunday.
This is going to be a tough game between all four of these teams here going across the board. I think these games are going to be tight, and I expect to see some good football here.
Okay. Who's your preference right now? Who's the top team right now?
Oh, I like Northern LA to come out of this.
Northern LA, number 1 seed according to the commish at the moment. 8th grade bracket. Let's move on to the 8th grade. These regionals completed today. So we had Maryland and Mass in the 7th grade final. It's the same thing in 8th grade, except the inverse result. Massachusetts, impressive. They're the first team to get back as an 8th grade team to San Antonio. They were in the Final 5 last year. They run, but their defense is so tough. Mike Silva, they forced 3 interceptions in this game, Trey, and they're going back to San Antonio.
Great Mass team here. You know, PJ has built really 2 great teams have made it all the way to the regional finals. This Mass 8th grade team advances again, new group obviously. Expect them to make a great showing in San Antonio. All
right, we're on the road to San Antonio. We're looking at the 8th grade brackets. We go to the South. Now here, we had this massive upset yesterday, or some might have considered it because South Florida beat Central. But Charlotte, with that goal line stand and then a 95-yard touchdown, they get into the regional final. And then poor Charlotte, North Georgia, 39-0 in that game. And North Georgia is going to San Antonio, and that sets up the matchup with Massachusetts.
Wow, this North Georgia
team.
Yeah, here we go. You knew it was coming somewhere here, didn't you? Get the big wow here. Yeah. Hey, this North Georgia team is the real deal. I'm telling you. They're loaded. They're coming to San Antonio ready to win this thing. The Gibbs receiver is a fantastic player.
Yeah. Some say he's the best they've ever seen, and no joke. We're not lying on that, too. Good running back, too, in Williams. Okay. In Kansas City. Now here, maybe the surprise of the tournament. I don't think anyone, like the Spirit of St. Louis, now that was a big plane back in the day, might be going over some of you youngsters' heads, but talking about flying under the radar, this St. Louis team, only an 8th grade team, and San Antonio, the feel-good story, 1 game away. Here's St. Louis. They don't allow a point in the regionals. They walk over Southeast Louisiana, and then they beat San Antonio today 31-0 to get to San Antonio. Surprise to you?
Total surprise. Total surprise here. I expected the winner of the Iowa-San Antonio, and I'm eating my words here, to go. And what a great game, first of all, that was the Iowa and San Antonio game last night. Probably one of the best of the tournament. Then what happens? They come into today, St. Louis steamrolls them. This St. Louis team is good. They're very disciplined. They have a big line. They run the veer offense, and they run it precisely.
You better know how to stop that. Start studying now. So we'll see St. Louis and San Antonio. They're waiting on their West regional opponents. Speaking of the West, let's take a look at who's advancing in the 8th grade to Reno. Utah pulled off that win over Arizona last night. Colorado beat Las Vegas. Colorado 28-0 over Utah today to get to Reno. And here comes Colorado. Darryl Gonzalez seems to have a pretty good team here.
You know, Darryl and both Kenny Markle have put together a fantastic team here in Colorado. They're going to make a run at this. They're going to make a run for San Antonio, guaranteed.
Well, they'll be in Reno next weekend. Okay, here's the shuffleboard. And this is the great thing. It's the wild, wild west. You want to say wow, Trey, it's time to say wow, because only 1 team, 7th and 8th grade, when you split them, advanced at both levels, and that was Northern LA. We'll get to that in a minute. Here, Ventura County comes out in the 8th grade. They beat Orange County, who came out in the 7th grade, and Ventura County, this is a stout defense. This team, Orange County, had a huge line, ran the ball so well against Los Angeles yesterday. Ventura County, defense stops them. They win it 22-2 to advance. Really good running back, good quarterback, and here they are going to Reno.
Well-coached team. A lot of talent across the board. Expect to see good things from them.
I think there's going to be a shout in Southern California if they get that Northern LA matchup, but still early to tell. Speaking Northern LA, 7th grade impressive, maybe a little more talented on the 8th grade level. People are talking about this as the team to beat coming out of the West. They beat Bay Area convincingly. Same with Central Valley, who beat Sacramento. In Northern LA, Liddell Atkins, outstanding quarterback. They didn't even have to play him in the first game, but now's his time to shine as they move on to Reno.
Yeah, this 8th grade Northern LA team is the real deal. Loaded line, big, good size, good speed.
Yeah, talent all over the field. Okay, Portland. Well, we had Seattle come out in the 7th grade. here's a team that's trying to push back to San Antonio. The 8th graders from Oregon got down there last year in the Final Five. They beat Southern Oregon to get to Reno, and they did it in style. They won 29-12 as they move on next week into Upper Nevada.
Question is, can Oregon get back?
Yeah.
We have another team from Oregon back again.
Great site up in Lake Oswego, the host high school in Portland. Great job by all of our volunteer staff walk around the country this weekend at the regionals and out in the west on the road to San Antonio. Speaking of the road to San Antonio, here it is, Reno, 8th grade, Oregon and northern Los Angeles, Ventura County, Colorado. I almost wish I was going out there with you. This is going to be very good. Very
This
good
is going to be a great matchup across the 8th grade board here. If I were to pick I don't know, it's hard to pick here. Ventura's good, Northern LA is good, Colorado. Hard for me to go out on the line here.
Okay, well, I won't hold it to you, but I'm going to take Northern LA for right now. You picked him in the 7th grade.
Then I'll go with Colorado.
Okay,
I'm going to go with Colorado.
Very good, very good.
He's laying it out, The first thing I do want to say is I want to thank all of our staff across the country. 2 great weekends of football putting together. I know all the players out there had a great time, and everything went off great. And I just want to thank everybody out there from FBU that put on a great tournament.
Well said from the sheriff. Over 180 games have been played so far, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All those 6th grade sectional winners today. Congratulations, by the way, too. Your road to San Antonio can be followed, Facebook.com National Championship. Twitter, great job by our tweeters. They were sending in scores across the country, FBU_NC. Instagram, send those photos in. Football University, YouTube Football University, FBUNationalChampionship.com, updated brackets. As soon as we're done here, you're going to go see them. They're there for you to follow. Now, one thing, of course, the commissioner, I was telling you about this all weekend long. I was watching it, studying up on game film from last week. Within 7 to 10 days of you playing, or your team playing, your game's going to be available on FBU Field Pass. Now, it's a great device just for future keepsake, but $35 will eventually get you the entire tournament. Games are up there now. Go check it out. FBUtelevision.com. How cool is that to go around the country to be seeing all these games and have them at your disposal whenever you want, year-round?
I've been back here in the control center. I can't wait to get online with my Field Pass and watch all these games. It's going to be a busy week for me trying to catch up.
Yeah, a busy week. You got to do that, and then you got to head out to Reno, and we'll get ready. We're closing in 6 spots into San Antonio, 2 more coming, and sooner or later it's going to be, before you know it, the first weekend in January. We're going to
it's going to be here fast. Looking forward to crowning those last 2 next weekend.
Well, the semifinals at Hero Stadium, and then, of course, the championships at the Alamo Dome on Sunday the 6th. The commissioner, Trey McNeil. We're going to do a little fist bump here. Great job.
Wow, here we go.
Yeah, we are ready to roll into San Antonio. Just one region to go. That's Reno next week to wrap things up, and then the holiday break, of course, before Big Bowl Week, U.S. Army All-American Bowl, the National Combine, the East Bay Youth All-American Games. We have international bowls, and, of course, the FBU National Championship. Great football by all you kids out there at the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade across the country. Great job to all of those helping out, as well, as Trey mentioned, and also here in our Jersey studios. For the Commissioner, Trey McNeil, I'm Neil Sika saying good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you next week from the studios. We'll have that Reno live scoring update for you all throughout the weekend. But until then, we say so long from New Jersey.